Welcome to the Badlands of Wawa, Ontario, Canada. Peter Bogatis is the person in the foreground, teacher at Misbegotten High School in Wawa, Ontario from 1972 to 1974. My name's Don and I taught at Misbegotten High School from 1972 to 1975. I really enjoyed hunting and fishing and exploring the natural environment. During the winter, I used to go ice fishing, and in the spring, I went fishing. Autumn was time for hunting. I had a keen interest in the history and the mining in the region. Wawa is located just off Highway 17 on the northern shore of Lake Superior and adjoins Wawa Lake. It's got a population of about 3,500 people. Here's an aerial view of the town. The discovery of iron ore by Ben Boyer in 1897 led to the early founding of Wawa. Mining continued during the early 1900s up to the current McLeod mine. However, iron ore is no longer mined in Wawa today. The George W. McLeod mine was underground, and a tramway was used to ship the iron ore to a sinter plant where the low-grade siderite ore was upgraded. Here's a shot of the ropeway here, bringing the ore from the mine to the sinter plant. The Agawa ore division operated as sintering and ore preparation plant. Although the recent operations were underground, large open pits remain from earlier mining of iron ore. A sintering process which burns off the sulfur in the ore was begun in the mid-1900s. None of these buildings remain today, but the McLeod mine is in the background, the sintering plant in the foreground, photograph taken in 1974. The sintering plant was serviced by the Agawa Central Railway. Here's the plant here with large chimneys which put out huge clouds of white sulfurous smoke, creating acid rain. The ore was ground into fine pellets and passed along this conveyor where it was burned by an oil flame. In the 1970s, we didn't refer to the area as Badlands. We conveniently overlooked the environmental devastation because the prosperity of the town depended on the mine. The Badlands was an area northwest of the town and was inaccessible by roads. This aerial photograph shows the Badlands running northeast, north of Wawa Lake. A closer look at the Badlands. At the bottom is the end of Wawa Lake, and I'm going to take you on a trip north from Wawa Lake up a road to where the Magpie mine was located and a power generation plant called Steep Hill Falls. This 1972 photograph from the McLeod mine shows the devastation caused by sintering. There are absolutely no trees in the photograph. During the 1900s, the Magpie mine, located northeast of Wawa, was the first sinter plant in Canada. It also led to substantial environmental devastation. In the 1970s, the landscape looked totally barren from the old Magpie mine. The Magpie mine used to be serviced by a spur of the Agawa Central Railway. This is the old railway bridge across the Magpie River. The power generation plant was built at Steep Hill Falls to service the Magpie mine. This later found a disrepair. Recently, a new power plant has been constructed on a much larger dam site at Steep Hill Falls. Here's an aerial shot of the new Steep Hill Falls power plant. Looking down at the bottom, you can see the remains of the original Steep Hill Dam and power plant. We drive Highway 101 along Wawa Lake from Wawa towards Sheplo to the end of Wawa Lake. The end of Wawa Lake, looking at Highway 101. It's a beautiful lake. There is an excellent gravel road leading into the devastation area. This is because all this area used to be maintained for mining. There is a large iron ore open pit at the end of Wawa Lake. Between 1972 and 1975, I never gained access to this area. It was sealed off. When I had a chance to drive through in 2003, I grabbed the opportunity. The gravel road winds its way past many beautiful lakes. It follows the remains of the old spur line of the Agawa Central Railway. I think that's the reason why there's such extensive blasting through the Precambrian shield. Along the road are the remains of the railway ties of the old railway servicing the old Magpie mine. Although the sinter plant's only been shut for about 10 years, reforestation is already occurring. Nevertheless, acid rain has washed most of the soil off the Precambrian shield. There are large stretches of bare Precambrian rock. It's a pleasant, easy drive on a beautiful June day. And all this is new territory. I never gained access here, even though I used to hunt and fish around Wawa Lake. Most of the old railway ties have been stockpiled. There's a huge stack of them along the road. It's a good thing no one's put a match to them. They would go up in a terrible fire. I was amazed at the amount of old timber here. It goes on and on. Amazing. Well, I've given you an idea of the reforestation of the Wawa Badlands. Probably in another 30 or 40 years, there will be no evidence that this area was once haven't been moving on. We drive back towards Wawa, past the old Serluga mine, a gold mine, just off Highway 103. We're back into the town of Wawa. This website indicates that in October 2006, extensive diamond drilling and diamond drilling excavations are occurring in the Badlands. The Badlands is once again being sealed off from public access.